Right then, I mentioned this video in last week's video. It's the turquoise inlay ball where the footage up to now was corrupted. Right then, as I said, the footage of this corrupted when I was putting it from the cameras to the computer, right? It's an ash bowl. It's around about 14 across by about 6 high. And right, all I've done so far, right, is I rounded off the outside, cut a trench in it, inlaid the turquoise, and then filled the trench with, right, with clear resin, right? Now, I'm deliberately coming on before it's mounted because there's a question that gets asked a lot, and I'm just going to answer it here as best I can, right? And the question is, what do you do when you have to take a piece off of a chuck and you want it to get back on, right? Now, if you look there, right, I have jaw number 3 marked on this. So I'm going to mount it back on, and I'm going to line jaw 3 back up with those marks, which means it should be perfectly lined up, hopefully. Because the one thing I don't want is I don't want this bowl to have warped, because it will make it a pain in the rear end. It doesn't look like it has much, which is something, I suppose. That looks pretty okay-ish, right? Now, normally when I'm doing these rim inlay bowls, when I'm doing this part, I will completely cut away the wall here on the outside and the wall on the inside, so you can see in sideways, but I don't want to do that with this bowl. I just want to be able to see the turquoise from the top. If you're wondering what that looks like, I've done a few videos on it. The two that I can remember is the bullet bowl and the skull bowl. I'll leave a link up there to the bullet bowl. It won't let me put 2 links up there in short succession. So the link to the skull bowl and the bullet bowl will both be down below, right? But with this one, I want to change it up a bit. I want to only be able to see the turquoise from the top. Now, what I want to do here is clean up the outside of this. So I'm actually going to do it with a carbide, because I don't want to take a lot off. I just want to cut resin. Right, so I have a carbide here with a fresh blade on it, and I just want to clean the resin spillage up from the outside, and I am on low. Okay, right. When I go to the inside, I will again be using my normal ball gouge. It did warp slightly, but I'm really trying to take as little as I can off here, because I want that wall around the outside. I just want to clean up that. Once I get that rim cleaned up, it's getting quite thin in places. See, it's a little off there. It's hitting there. Right. So another tiny little bit. clean that up without taking the wall away. Right, then we might be okay there. Right, now I'm going to use my ball gouge to clean up the rest of it. And I'm just going to shear scrape it away. Which means my hand will be going down here low instead of where you'd see me last week up here. And I'll be using a different part of the blade. Yeah, it did move a little bit. Jump there. I'm going to push cut this out. Yeah, right, I'm going to push cut this. Right, I have a knot there. Not the inside, so I'm going to have to fill that as well. Right, I'm going to push cut this. Because I'm away from that rim, I should be safe enough. I'm going to do this very gently because I don't want to take much size off of it. That last little bit of resin at the rim I'm hoping will sand out because I don't want to cut it. Foot in it. Right, now we're circling this up. Here's the side bevel, clean it up. So line just there I don't like. Get rid of it. Yeah, get rid of it. Just up here, clean up this last little bit on the outside. I don't want to go up as far as the edge of this rim at all, as it's now quite thin. And there's a little tiny bit there which will stand out. Right, now we get this front flattened off. I'm going to get all of the turning done on this before I start sanding. Same again, I'm going to use the carbide because I'm going across resin. And I'm going to do it very, very carefully. The outer wall is thinner than I would like it to be. I in particularly do not want to go down and cut that turquoise. Right. Give this a bit of a negative rake so it cleans. The bowl wasn't perfectly level when I poured the resin is the problem here. It's cleaning up nicely. Right, I just gotta, there's not much in it, but I thought I had the bowl level when I poured the resin, but I obviously didn't. Can't be much in it now. No, I don't think there is much in it. Shoot. I think I'm hitting the stone. I think I'm hitting the stone. Something I don't want to do. Ever so slightly. Right then, I will sand the rest of that because I'm actually just starting to touch a stone. Right. So I'll just clean up the rest of that with sanding. There's only that piece there I'm not touching, so that should sand. Okay. Right then. Now we get the inside of this turned. Right. I'll just move this camera and I'll be right back. Right then, we get this thing hollowed. I'm just hogging away wood here, not worried about finishing or anything like that. Let's get in closer to where I'm actually working. Right, that's around about the width I'm looking for. It's just a slight little bit of wall left there. Yeah, that's my gun. start running with finished cuts now. Slight thing there that I don't like. And before I go any further, there's a slight undulation in the wall here that I don't like, so I'm going to get rid of it. Yeah, I got rid of that undulation. There's another one just there. Got rid of it. It looks like there's a hole in this at that knot. Hopefully it's not too big. Need to go deeper down here because I'm starting to get wide from about there. Starting to get wider from about there. Where's that knot? No, it's still just a crack. That's okay then. I need to start taking it more from there. Yeah, okay, right, that's back on widthwise. Right, I'm going to switch now to the curved tool rest. Because it makes things a lot easier. So, you know, I think a little bit. Yeah, looks okay. There's a look. Nothing there. It's actually still a bit thick down there. It's actually still slightly thick just there. So we can go down a bit more there, I think. Not a lot, but a bit. Right then, now we just get that middle bit out, and we should be good to go, hopefully. I'm very slightly low. The curved tool rest is a little bit harder to judge for height than the straight one. It always looks higher than it actually is. Yet again, don't force the middle, let the tool do it. Just need to edge this gouge. Right then, we get the cutting on this finished. A lot better. If you ever get that where you're having to push just a little too hard, or the gouge feels funny, take the time to sharpen it. It will save you so much frustration in the end. Right, picking up that finish cut again. And there we go. Right then, she is turned. Cut's not too bad. I might actually hit there with the negative rake. It's just a little bit, it's not as nice as I want it. So I'm going to hit there with the negative rake. There's a couple of lines there that I just can't get my hands on it the best today. There we go, I got what I wanted out. Right then, I will sand and finish this and I'll be right back. Right then, just buffing the wax off. And I had a slight problem when I was sanding. And it took me far too long to figure this out. Right, I'll show it to you and I'll give you all the clues that I had. Right, and then when you get all the clues and stuff, just pause the video for a second and stick down in the comments why you think it was. Why you think this thing happened. And I'll tell you why I think it happened. And see if we come to the same conclusion. Right, it turned out gorgeous. The turquoise in it is really pops. Right? And I did actually clip a stone there and there. Right, and you can see that the stone is blue all the way through. That's how you know, by the way, if you're ever shopping for turquoise, that's how you know. There's a certain white stone that they dye to make it look like turquoise. But if you crack one of the stones, you'll see the white inside. Turquoise is blue all the way through. And you can see there where I've actually clipped them, they are blue all the way through. Right, this thing, right, see here, where the depth of where the turquoise is there, and it's there, right. Took me far too long to figure this one out, right. I tried sanding that with 80 grit, I tried cutting it, and I could not get rid of it, right. As I was sanding it, it was slowly getting worse. And I'm there going, this shouldn't be doing this. I've cleaned off what was on it. Okay, so some resin dripped around the outside, but it should have cleaned by now because it cleaned down here. And then I noticed, right, that it's there on one side, flip it around, it's on the other side, right? But it's clear in the middles, right? And it's the same on the inside, right? Cleared in the middle, it's there. Cleared in the middle, it's there. As I said, it took me far too long to figure this out. So, pause the video now and put down in the comments why you think I'm getting those marks, because I've come to a conclusion. Right then, the conclusion I came to. Now, as I said, I've never done one of these bowls leaving the walls there before. Right, I always cut them away so you can see into the side. This one, I just thought this would look better, right? But the conclusion I've come to is that what those marks are is actually the resin from the inside soaking into the grain. And you can see the staining of it outside. As I said, it's in the same place inside and out. It's only on two ends. It's not all the way through it. Right? As I said, gap there it is, gap there it is. So that's what I think it is. I think it's the resin after soaking through from the inside. You know the way resin bonds, it's kind of soaks in and then hardens, and that's how the bond is held. But that's what I think it is. So, did anybody agree with me? Right then, but otherwise it's gorgeous apart from those marks. Right, it's lovely chatoyancy in it. As you can tell from the last day, it's got the black flecks in it, so it is mountain ash or rowan. Right, the resin turned out perfect, actually, crystal clear. That's my normal resin, not that. Remember I did the one on the Teamy resin? My normal resin is called Epodex, by the way. It's a long cure resin. It's quite expensive. Right, I will take this off, flip it around, stick it into the vacuum truck, finish the bottom and give you a better look at it. So I'll be right back. Right then, there we have it. 13 3/4 by 5.5 ash bowl, mountain ash, with turquoise inlaid around the top. Turquoise turned out exactly the way I wanted it. It was absolutely perfect. But what I learned out of this, doing this one, was if I'm ever leaving the walls on again, to leave them thicker so that the resin bond can't show through. Because I'm convinced that's what that is. But as I said, happy enough with it, with the way the main idea turned out with the resin inlay and the turquoise inlaid into it. Not too happy about the resin soaking through. It's still a nice bowl though. So if you got anything out of that or liked it, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like on the video, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in the next one.